1. So I just started a new job to fill my gap year in the small snack bar in a small fun park. You can eat hot dogs there, or butter pretzels, that kind of stuff. The only more difficult things I do there are the spaghetti, and that's about it. During lunchtime and some hours after lunchtime, it's super stressful, because this is the time when everyone wants to eat their lunch, obviously. And to that time, entitled mom shows up with her kid. I'm not calling them entitled kid, because that kid wasn't really entitled like their mom. I just hope that if they grow up, they won't be like her. My co-worker who managed the cash register took her order and passed it to me. It's nothing special they ordered, just a plate of spaghetti and a hot dog. Just because I have so many other orders, their order will take longer than usual. I hope that it's self-explanatory why. First, I make sure to finish the orders, which are here for longer. One order happened to be 2 plates of spaghetti for 2 really patient and sweet girls. As I finish the first of the 2 plates, I go to the front and shout that the first of the 2 plates is finished. As I said that, the kid of the entitled mom jumps up immediately and takes the plate. Well, since I couldn't see the girls anywhere, I thought that they may belong to the entitled mom and that they were taking the order for them. Often you can't tell who belongs to which family, so that happens sometimes. Especially if guests don't wait nearby the takeaway station. Most times there was a way for clarity when we asked if they also ordered something, which happened to be ordered with that specific meal. If they deny to have ordered something else entirely, like that, then it's probably not their meal. Just I was in a rush and new orders kept getting in. But as soon as I glanced over to the front where I saw those 2 girls who came back for their meal, I realized that I gave the plate to the wrong person. Luckily enough, I was preparing the next place already, so they didn't have to wait too long for more. While I was waiting for the 2 plates of spaghetti to finish, I brought other finished orders to the front. Every time I heard the entitled mom sigh in annoyance, who was waiting nearby for her hot dog. I also reassured the 2 girls that their meals will be finished soon enough, and that I haven't forgotten about them. I mostly ignored the entitled mom, since annoyed people aren't too uncommon. Most likely they are annoyed by their kids and waiting to take it out on the workers, since they can't take it out on someone else. So it's no use to pay that much attention to annoyed people, just do your job and hope that this will satisfy them enough. As soon as I finished the spaghetti of the 2 girls, I gave each of them a candy bar as well. I mean, they were extremely patient, and such patience should be rewarded. It won't cause me any trouble too. Those candy bars are for the workers and are advertisement gifts, so they were given free to us. Somewhat. It won't cost me or my boss anything, if I give them away, as long as I don't do it too frequently. It also made these girls really happy, so it was worth it. Some minutes later, I finished the hot dog and gave it to the entitled mom. First, she seemed satisfied, until she showed up after she ate the hot dog.
I want a refund.
My co-worker was just assisting another guest when entitled mom cut the line to get a refund.
The hot dog took too long.
My co-worker looks a little perplexed, and we exchanged looks. Then she tries to explain why entitled mom's order took longer, but entitled mom isn't satisfied with that. Again, she demands a refund, but now for an entirely different reason.
I didn't get my second hot dog.
I remembered which order she took, as it was on the cash receipt, which I used to prepare the correct order, so basically, you only pay what is on the cash receipt, not more, not less. I just prepared the meal which was printed on that cash receipt to read. On the receipt was noted that entitled mom indeed only ordered 1 hot dog and 1 plate of spaghetti. Not 2 hot dogs. So she just paid for a plate of spaghetti and for 1 hot dog, so she can't get a refund for a missing second one. I go up to the front to show it to entitled mom, but she isn't paying me any attention, as she discussed with my co-worker whether she was in the right or not. My co-worker, though, took the cash receipt and showed it to entitled mom. So you ordered a plate of spaghetti and a hot dog, paid for a plate of spaghetti and a hot dog, and got a plate of spaghetti and a hot dog? My co-worker said to entitled mom. At that point, my co-worker remembered taking the order from her earlier before passing it to me.
But I need a second hot dog,
entitled mom answered in a rude manner. Now there is something to know about German snack bars, restaurants, whatsoever. We don't have the need to be friendly with you, especially if you're a complete asshole towards us. Yes, I am living and working in Germany, therefore this story takes place in Germany. Most Germans are pretty honest with most things. Same goes with our feelings. So if we are pissed because of you, we will let you know. No fake playing nice and playing A-OK besides being treated like garbage by customers. Of course, I can't kick your butt for having a bad day, but I will kick your butt when you're an asshole towards me, my coworkers, or other guests. Not literally. You know how I mean it. Just means I still have to be nice towards you to a certain degree, as long as you're returning the favor to a certain degree.
Either you will give me my second hot dog or I will demand a refund.
Entitled Mom continues. My coworker just shakes her head. We can't give you a refund for a second hot dog if you didn't order a second hot dog. At that point, a nice man jumped in. The man who would have his order now if Entitled Mom hadn't cut the line in front of him.
Ma'am, they are only doing their job. Just go to the end of the line and order a new hot dog. It's not a big deal, really.
Shouldn't have said that, because now Entitled Mom turned to him.
You have no word in that, man. Mind your own business.
Now, she shouldn't have said that. That's rude and extremely weird to say, no matter if man or woman.
Don't talk to me like that. I talk to any man like that.
My coworker intervenes to calm down the situation, but Entitled Mom had had enough already.
I'm surrounded by idiots,
she yells before stomping off with her kid. I, the nice man, and my coworker exchange looks before my coworker turns to me. Guess who's leaving a 1-star review? That woman, I suppose. Should we care? Not really. With that, I went to the back again to do my job. We also apologized to the people who had to wait much longer now because of Entitled Mom causing a scene. The waiting guests remained patient and understanding of the stressful situation. No one was really blaming us at the moment. Also, that man got a candy bar for the trouble. After the incident, I and my coworker were talking about it. When we had a little bit of free time, we made some fun about it and exchanged that story with other coworkers who work at other parts of the small fun park. I got to hear more stories, not about Entitled Mom, but about other entitled people. Remember that you're not the only guest in a small fun park, no matter how small it may be. Be nice to a certain degree, and drink water. I'm gonna get myself a cocoa now. 2. Since I quit my job, I'll be posting the Karens I've come across at work. This happened during my first week on the job. It was supposed to be a day off, but my manager called me because they were very understaffed, and I agreed. There were 4 people in the store, including the manager and I, and we were running the store through the drive-thru only and barely managing. Welcome to the restaurant. What can I get for you today? The EM orders a large amount of food. Alright, so that will be a bit of a wait as we are understaffed, and some of that food is made on demand. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, and I give her the total. EM finally reaches the window and pays. My manager then says, "Hey LP, this order is taking too long as some of the food is still cooking, so park this car." I relay the information to the EM. "Hello, so as I mentioned at the window, your order is taking a while because some of the food you ordered is made on demand. Can we have you park out the front of the store? We will have that ready in a few minutes and bring it right to your car."
Stupid working children. Fine, I'll park.
She drives off angry. Less than 5 minutes later, we hear the locked lobby door rattling, which only happens if you are aggressively pulling the door open when it's locked. The lady then goes to the window of the lobby that faces the kitchen and starts slamming her hands against the window to get our attention. "Don't even look at her," says my manager. The lady gets fed up with us not paying her any attention and shows up at the drive-thru window. The manager is charging the next customer. She squeezes between the customer's car and the drive-thru window.
"I've been waiting for an hour for my food, and you've been giving everyone their food but me. My children are hungry at home. That's why you're a dumb child who can only work at a fast food place. Now get a manager and get me my food."
"Ma'am, get away from the window. You are not allowed to do that."
"I want my food."
"And I'll make you wait longer if you don't step away from the window and get back to your car."
"I want my food now."
"Go back to your car. It's only been 10 minutes. She backs away from the window and walks back toward her car while still yelling. I say to the nice lady being served, "I'm so sorry about that." "Oh, wow, I can't believe there are people like that." "Yeah, there's a lot of them." "OP, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "Okay, good. Now who's gonna go give the lady her food because it's ready?" My coworker says, "I guess I'll do it." "Good luck." 3. So this actually happened in October 2019. The last Wednesday before Halloween. and an off night for Mickey's Not So Scary, so they had to give many of the cast a day off in prep for the Halloween weekend. This all will become relevant later on. Now, I'm a local Disney pass holder and go often, so I've seen it all in terms of behavior, but this night was by far the worst, with 3 counts of horrible entitled parents. The first encounter, I was at Frontier Traders looking at exclusive pins behind the counter when this entitled mom rushes in, scratching her arms like mad. She immediately interrupts a cast member helping me, demanding that she give her bug spray. The cast member calmly explains that they didn't give any out, but she could purchase it at any other shop. The EM immediately gets pissed, saying why should she purchase it, and that she's been coming for 16 years or something, so she shouldn't have to. She storms out, and we both shrug our shoulders. I will add Disney has an excellent mosquito program, and never seen one on their property. The second encounter. We were walking past Splash Mountain when we encounter a clearly scared child with a very angry entitled dad. The child is crying that he's too scared to go on Splash Mountain, and the father is yelling at him about being a wuss along with, "Why do we walk all the way down here if you were going to check it out?" I honestly can't blame the kid. I haven't even gotten my family to ride Splash Mountain, let alone do it in the dark. The third encounter. This one is by far the worst of the night and worst behavior I've encountered. So as I've said before, Disney was short-staffed and wasn't expecting the amount of crowds that were there, so the line for the monorail was insanely long. Like they had waving in and out of the gates like cattle for nearly 2 hours after park closing. It was so bad some families didn't even try to get in line and just camped along the walls. So by the time we got to the monorail boarding, we were all hot, tired, and sore, but that doesn't excuse the CM's behavior. As usual, handicapped people board first, and the cast member allows my dad and his ECV to board before anyone else. This didn't sit well with the EM, who had a handicapped daughter in one of those modified strollers, and she started to scream at the frazzled cast member.
"Why should he get to go first? My daughter is handicapped."
Now, here is the thing, my dad is too. He was in a car accident in '94, and it only takes 2.5 seconds to figure it out when he wears shorts because of his big black leg braces. Cast member tries to explain she was going to board at the next gate. But the EM isn't having any of it and keeps yelling at the poor cast member. Bit of knowledge for you all, the handicapped gates are barely 6 feet apart, and it doesn't really matter which one you get because when the monorail arrives, all the doors open at the same time. But we know EMs never use logic. She finally calms down as another cast member joins them and escorts her party to the second gate, but my dad was livid. She is lucky she didn't start in on him, or he would have let her have it. When it was our time to board, I apologized to the cast member on EM's behalf, and he was grateful. Because they were short-staffed, and it had been like that all evening. So that concludes the triple whammy night of entitlement. I would hate to see this happen again, but it's Disney, and people think that just because they pay, they get to act like jerks. 4. I do housekeeping gigs on the side to help me make ends meet. I like cleaning anyway, so it's a bit of fun to me. Some families are nice, they offer me extra gigs, tip, refill my cleaning supplies, and let me have access to snacks. However, some people left me feeling incompetent and second-guessing this job. This is one of the people who have done this, but I was just told they were rude. I met this lady on a famous caretaking site. Let's call her Karen for privacy. When we had our first video call, she told me she was out of town but will get back to me in a few weeks. Suddenly, a few days later, I get a text saying she changed her mind and was going home tomorrow. Karen needed someone immediately, so we agreed on the next day. That night, I didn't hear from her for a few hours. She has a toddler and works from home, so I suppose she was busy. The wait was so long that I ended up going to bed. When I woke up, I noticed she texted me about 10 p.m., saying she wanted me there at noon and not to be late. It was kind of last minute, but I didn't have anything else to do. I asked her where I needed to meet her, and another waiting game started. About 10:30, I texted her again, stating I needed an address. I waited for 30 more minutes, then gave her a message saying we should reschedule. After all, I was in an accident that totaled my car a few months ago, so I needed time to prepare my route. I just shrugged and took a nap, planned out the rest of my day so it wouldn't be an issue. My idea was that she was still unpacking and maybe her kid got sick. Soon I get a call about 15 minutes after the appointment was supposed to start. Karen's asking where I am, saying she's been sitting here for hours. I apologized and reminded her I sent her a few messages. Apparently she didn't receive any, so I explained I didn't know where to go and decided we should try again because I need time to prepare. I didn't want her home to be in the middle of a loud city with lots of traffic and expect me to be there immediately. She thought the website I met her off would advertise her address, which does not make sense, and begged me to come now. I already had other things I needed to take care of, like errands and schoolwork. Finally, Karen begrudgingly agreed to meet tomorrow and actually texted me her location. When I arrived, Karen immediately asked to see my vaccine card and how many hours I can work. I had another client after her today, so I admitted I can only go a few hours. She's looking for someone to meticulously dust, vacuum because she has allergies, and expects me to deep clean a room or two each appointment. We agreed on $15 an hour, and she showed me around the house. I noticed there were toys everywhere and asked if she needed help organizing them, but she expects her 2-year-old to pick them up, so I ignored it. There was a juice box on the floor, and I happily threw it away. Karen turned to her kid and asked why he didn't clean up after himself. We begin in the kitchen. I start on the dishes in the sink and asked if the dishwasher needs to be unloaded. Karen told me to forget about it, she will take care of it, and asked me to clean the fridge instead. It was very sticky and disorganized. I removed the food and began wiping down the fridge. This took a while, and she kept asking if I was done every 5 minutes. Next, she wanted me to clean the countertops. I happily took out my spray and rag. While I'm scrubbing gunk off the granite, she tells me I forgot a crumb of salt in the corner and needed to do it again. This happened a lot, and I started to feel stupid for being slow. When we got to the coffee maker area, I noticed there were tons of coffee, tea, and sugar stains. Some of them were so stuck I offered to use some goo be gone. Instead, she got out a dish brush and wanted me to scrape it off. I ended up taking 2 hours in the kitchen, and Karen complained about it. I felt like I could have done better if she didn't keep micromanaging me. For example, I would be cleaning the toaster, and she would tell me I missed a tiny smudge on the side. I started to feel inadequate because, apparently, I missed so many details and went too slow. Next came the bathroom. I began by wiping the mirrors, but I was already nervous about taking so long in the kitchen. I ended up spending longer than I should because of streaks. There was a lot of clutter, perfumes, toothpaste, lotion, etc. on the sink, but only wanted me to fit the things into a small Dollar Tree basket. She didn't want her things on the floor. I ended up moving things by section, cleaning that part of the counter, then moving to the next. Karen explained she doesn't like bleach, so I used a mix of dish soap, baking soda, and a sprinkle of Barkeeper's Friend. I got more overwhelmed when the shower stains wouldn't come up. My anxiety rose because I was running out of time to get to my next appointment. She asked if I was done and wanted me to mop. She wasn't worried about sweeping first, so I began Swiffering. Of course, dust and hair came up. I suggested we should dust first next time, but she told me it's my responsibility to pick it up after. Karen made me track the wet floor and pick up pieces of hair. I felt amateur as I told myself I should have offered to dust first. Last, she paid me and offered a water bottle. Apparently she's going on another road trip soon and will call me if she needs me. However, I don't think I will see her again, and thinking about it now makes me relieved. I'm starting to learn to dump clients that are difficult. I got really sad when I got to my car and realized I'm about to miss my second appointment. Karen also drove my energy out, so there was no way I was going to do more work. I had to contact the second client for a reschedule and offered to help them first thing in the morning. However, they said they needed help immediately and told me they will call me soon. That just hit me really hard. I wasn't dependable to somebody. I let a first time down, and felt it was my fault that I was unable. I took the slowness personally because I grew up being that kid who had to work harder than others. It made me feel like I didn't do my best and won't be any good in this type of job. However, I only realized it was Karen's fault for being bossy when I vented to my friends. Anyway, I learned everyone is going to be different and there will always be more people, so I can drop whoever is difficult. I also realized I probably shouldn't make more than one appointment a day. This isn't my career, more like a babysitting type gig. After all, I still have a part-time job and need to focus on school. 5. So my friends and I have a non-profit organization, and we volunteer in our area sometimes. Today we were cleaning up the neighborhood, and we were at the park. There was a nasty and dirty area which is near a bunch of picnic tables. Families usually choose that spot for their kids' birthday parties. Teens hang out there in the evening, smoking weed and leaving their trash behind. Drug addicts use their drugs or get drunk at night, and dogs poop there and their owners won't pick up their stool. As I said, nasty. We organized this event with our city's waste management company. They gave us trash bags, gloves, rakes, etc. Anything we needed for today. We left these items on the picnic tables while we were collecting the garbage, and this woman, along with her kids and her other mom friends, approached us and said,
"Please move this stuff because we need the space for a birthday party."
And I thought, a bit rude, but okay, I get it. You see, I already knew this woman. She's my landlord's daughter, and I've never liked her. I do get along with her parents, they're nice to me, and her stepmother always brings us delicacies. But EM, she's rude, loud, and entitled. I hate her voice. She uses that high-pitched, fake-ass voice tone, trying to camouflage the evident dislike she has for me and my sister, but I digress. So we moved our equipment, and they sat at tables, but just stayed there, quietly, still and sighing while we kept cleaning the area. They could have started their party, we were just behind those tables and really not bothering them. At some point, she turned around and gave me an annoyed look.
"Did you really have to do this today? Now?"
I stared at her, perplexed. While other citizens had joined us along the way, some less, some more, this woman was annoyed at us for doing something for the community without asking anything in return. I replied, "We are volunteers, our time is limited, and yes, this was the only time the majority of us could gather here today and do something about this issue."
"Can't you do it, faster?"
I wish, but you see, there is so much garbage in here. I wouldn't let your kids play nearby, given the amount of broken glass bottles and needles.
"Then do it later. Go clean another spot."
At this point I sighed loudly, which provoked her, and I said, "As I told you, our time is limited. I don't think you're going to stay here for just a couple of hours, and the waste management company will arrive in 3 hours to collect everything. So no, let us finish here. Maybe you could help us and we can do it faster." She slammed one of her bags on the table and started raising her voice, telling me that I was dumb, that I couldn't see that she was wearing a dress, and that she obviously couldn't do it. I laughed because she was getting red in the face and she was getting so worked up for something as trivial as a toddler's birthday party, which will probably be forgotten anyways. I turned my back on her and kept doing my thing while she was screaming and threatening me to go tell my parents about my attitude, that I was rude because you're supposed to look at people in their face when they talk to you. I wish I had said something that would make everyone clap and end this anecdote like a pro, but to be honest, I just kept ignoring her, because I just didn't want to fuck up our stable, friendly relationship with our landlords. But most of all, because I stop engaging when someone uses their loud voice, or some kind of menacing attitude to impose something. Arguing with someone like that is time-consuming, exhausting, and just pointless. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to the Impractical Proudness of Parents. Hi Pop. Episode 72. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. If you enjoyed the video, then please do like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Comments are also appreciated. Alright, we have a little birthday shout-out to do today. This birthday shout-out goes to Danny. Danny is 27 years old today. Yes, the 26th of September. Okay, so... Also, their YouTube channel is Bull Shark Bait Art. Bull Shark Bait Art. Very glad I took my time reading that. It's an art channel, and well, you might find something you'll like there. We'll see if I can find a link. They didn't include one, but I forgive you because Hellfreezer is kind and cruel and awful. No, hang on, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, happy birthday to you there, Danny. And I hope you have a wonderful time today. And if I may be so bold and presumptuous, I would like to sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danny. Happy birthday to you. All right, and we're going to wrap things up there for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourself.